Hi, church family, and I wanted to come to you with a little brief video of our next few months, what that's going to look like as far as our phasing to reopening our buildings. And I wanted to make a video here at the church just to maybe y'all could share it instead of just going live on my phone, and I wanted to kind of make it to where it looked professional, I guess you could say, and then well thought out. That's kind of where I'm going with this video, well thought out. Now, I want to say this before I give you these three phases. I have first of all, prayed over all of these phases, prayed over our church, and just believe that this is exactly the direction that we should be, and where God, just have peace, where God has brought us and the reopening of our building. And so I want to come with you with good news. But before I do, there may be some that would look at this video in our church and would be a little, maybe not upset, but maybe you wouldn't understand why we just can't all meet together. Or maybe you're looking at it the other way, where you think that we shouldn't be together as soon as we are going to. I want you to know that I think really Satan would not desire anything more than to come between our church right now and to cause division. He could take something as simple as reopening a building, and he could maybe put men and women, their views maybe differently than what your pastor thinks, and you could voice them and get on social media, and you could start stirring up things. And Satan would want nothing more than to cause division before we ever even get back together. And how sad would that be? I want you to know that there's no manual that's been written on this. There's no pastor that's been an expert at reopening buildings during pandemics. I went to college and got a 4-year bachelor's degree, and never one class in ministry did I ever go through on how to pastor through a pandemic. And to be honest, I don't think any other pastor probably has either. So we're all in this together. Even as a church family, we're all lumped in this together, trying to figure this out. I've been listening to the governor. I am, first of all, no politician. Secondly, I'm no medical expert. And many of you watching this video, you're not a politician or a medical expert either. Some of you may be. But still, to make a decision on when to reopen a building, that's a pretty big decision. And to be honest, only God can do that. And since we're commanded to have the mind of Christ, that's what I've been seeking. And some may not even like the thoughts of having drive-in services. Maybe you think that's a little, we should be already meeting as a church and should have never stopped our assembly. Well, that's your opinion, and I respect that. But looking back, we may say, well, we were a little overly cautious. But you know what? I'm thankful for that, because God has called me to be the under shepherd of the Bible Baptist Church. That means to protect the flock. We have many here that have underlying health conditions, and that when that first came in, my first thought was them and their family. And it's still in my concerns, still certainly at my heart. So with that being said, I want to give you the first phase. The first phase of the reopening of our buildings would be this Sunday, May the 17th, on Sunday morning. For the next few weeks leading up to really May and even some of June into July, we're going to be meeting a little differently than what we are used to. And again, just bear with me with this. We're going to meet at 8:30 on Sunday mornings, as we always do. We always have a smaller service at 8:30, usually around 100 people all together. That's women, men, boys and girls, and babies. That's all of us together. That's our team, usually around 100 people, give or take. And so that's perfectly safe. Matter of fact, I feel that we should not have 100 people, any more than 100 people in this auditorium the next few weeks. So that 8:30 service, I would love for y'all to attend that service if you are 60 years of age or older, or if you have an underlying health condition. That would be a wonderful service for you to be, because we can spread out in this auditorium and we can social distance and be more mindful of other people's health. That's at 8:30 this Sunday morning. At 11 o'clock, we're going to have the same thing. No more than 100 people in our auditorium. And if at any time, whether the 8:30 or the 11 o'clock, we go at that 100 mark and more, we can have an overflow room that is streaming the service. And that will be in our fellowship hall. And if you have small children, you might want to do that. You could go over there, and of course we'll have some of the chairs that's in our auditorium currently, and we will put them over there, so there'll be nice padded chairs, and you can watch the service, participate, still be at church, still be under the same roof kind of, and still be social distanced. So that will be going on this Sunday, May the 17th at 8:30 and 11 o'clock. There will be no classes. There will be no nursery. It'll just literally be come to church, and we'll sing a few songs. I'll preach to you, and then we'll dismiss both services at 8:30 and 11 o'clock. Here's what will happen. We'll have 3 sanitation stations all through our building. We'll have one at the welcome desk, one here in the auditorium, and one in the fellowship area. It will be hand sanitizer with signage. Also, the restrooms will have signage, and we'll have all the things that we're supposed to have to keep everybody safe and healthy. Those will be going on indefinitely. We're going to continue those throughout the summer and into the fall, and probably keep those there just the rest of our church being. Just to keep everybody healthy, sanitized, and there'll be some things like passing the plate, handshaking, of course, that we will not be doing for any time, any near time in the future. So we're trying our best to, in this first phase, just to work some of those things in. Again, 8:30 and 11 o'clock will be those main services. There will be no Sunday evening during phase 1. There'll be no Wednesday evening during phase 1. All of those will be online. Sunday school classes will be online. And of course, the nursery will not happen until phase 2. June the 10th, we're going to implement child care, June the 10th, and that will be the nursery. Okay, still no Sunday school, and still no Sunday evening service. Just child care, 8:30 and 11 o'clock. We'll have everything else live streamed. And so that will be phase 2. Phase 3, which looks like the first weekend in July, will be our Sunday school and our bus ministry, and we will implement that Sunday evening service. Of course, Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock would be in our phase 2, a Bible study. So again, child care is going to be around June 10. So there's going to be about 3 or 4 weeks where we will not have nursery. So that's fine. Mamas, bring the babies. You can do all that. Tend to them. If you have to be in the hallway, we have the TV here that you can watch the service. Even in the hallway, we have rooms on the other side where you can distance. And if your child is maybe acting out, it doesn't bother me in here. I think everybody's just going to be happy to be together. So these phases, working toward that first weekend in July, where everything then is working the way it was before the pandemic. That is my prayer. We still will have the FM transmitter. So for those of you that's still afraid or fearful, I want to use that, fearful because of maybe a health issue or just concern, you can park your car right here near the building in a parking spot during the service times, and you can listen to the message that I'm preaching. And our FM transmitter will reach this parking lot, and we should be very good there. So let's just say you're afraid to come in the building. That will not be a problem. Let us know you're here. And so maybe an usher could come out or a deacon could come out if you need something and notify us that you're here. And then you can still hear the message and still be safely in your car if you're still fearful. I've been listening to what the governor's been saying about the restaurants and different things. And of course, they're now opening up at half capacity. And I thought, if a restaurant can open up, if grocery stores have never closed, which is an essential thing, but I think church is essential. And though the church is never closed, we're even more essential than anything you can think of, because we are feeding people literally the breath of God, the Word of God, what's a saving station. And so we've not let up, but we've had to, cut down on our assembling. And so that's what we want to do, is work back toward that final stage on July the 5th, which would be getting all of our classes going back and getting things there. And by then, my prayer is that we will be able to roll right on and be able to get things going back the way it was. And so we're looking forward to that. So don't forget, Phase 1 starts this coming week. Of course, Wednesday night will be online, but Sunday morning at 8:30 we'll be in this auditorium, and it will be super sanitized, super clean. The restrooms we'll have hand sanitizing stations here. I want you to come. And I think if we break the ice that first Sunday, I think people are dying to get back. And I think we'll be okay. Matter of fact, I know we will. And then come back at 11, and we'll do the same thing, and we'll have people here. And listen, I want you to come. I respect all of your views. I respect whatever you may be feeling, but I'm just telling you, as a pastor, I feel like this is the best move for our church. I've been itching to get back, not to rush in, but I miss our people. And I miss just singing those songs together and preaching to you and looking at you in the eyes. I don't want to look at your car window. I don't want to look at a camera like I am now. I want to look at you and see you as I preach. And so, again, remember those things. We'll put out some stuff in email form, and we'll certainly put it up here so you can read it. But our first phase begins this Sunday at 8:30 and 11 with no child care, just the 2 services at 100 capacity and in the auditorium at one time. And then we'll have overflows for you. And then the rest will just phase in the next few weeks ahead. We love you guys. I hope everybody's staying safe. And we've been praying for you and miss you, and can't wait to see you this Sunday at 8:30.